Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for a weekly angel reading for April 16th through the 22nd, 2018. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to connect in with our inner being, to connect in with the source of well-being within us in our heart chakra. And just as you focus there, just allow the divine light that radiates within you. See it shining bright and expanding out in all directions as you honor your own sacred heart. And just sort of seeing Jesus come through, who's standing with you and helping you to open your heart and helping you to connect in with all of your spiritual gifts. And he's sort of showing me a mailbox, which means some kind of message. And I saw the word home. So I'm not sure if it says now it's come. So it feels like that you may get something you may be expecting. You may get something in the mail, literally, okay, that's delivered to your home. Something that, a message, and he's writing this out now, a message that you've been waiting for. It looks like some kind of formal document. They sort of show me like a scroll. So it could be something that it could be a certificate of some sort, or I feel like it's something favorable, something you've been waiting for, and you've been anticipating, and this situation has brought up a lot of fears for you. He's writing out this, but you've kept your faith, and your efforts have been rewarded, is what he's saying. He's saying that you've been following the signs and your efforts have been rewarded, and this is a gift from God. And you've been able to trust in spite of your ego, just just trying to really tempt you to give up or to drop it. Risks were involved, and yet you've been safely protected through this. So, if you've been waiting to hear about college applications or job, something I feel like you've been waiting to hear about, and this comes to you, this message comes to your home by mail or perhaps maybe by email, but that your faith is rewarded in this week. Okay? Let's see. I'm also getting a sense too about signs. I'm seeing the word father, and I don't know why I'm seeing that word right now. Um, but there's something about property. They're writing out the word property. Um, Maybe someone left you a property or an estate, or you've been trying to deal with some situations around that. So are there? So maybe I get a sense that they're just writing the word faith again. Uh, Help is coming. So whether it's her going back to that word home again, maybe you hear about a home that you've been trying to sell, or a home that you wanted to buy that it went through. So, and they're writing out soulful connection, which means that this is meant to be. Okay, this is something that you, this is something that your soul has drawn to you. And so that this was inevitable for the situation to unfold and to work out. So just know that this is a little bit beyond, you've been getting these signs because this is something you've really been attracting towards yourself, and that your soul has um, you felt this instant connection with this whatever it was, and so that's why it's unfolding. They're also giving me a sense that if you've been applying for something like a home or any kind of application or something, and you felt this really soulful connection, um, you felt really inspired. It's something. It was almost like you felt this sense of alignment, like as if you knew it right away. This was the place for you, or this is a situation for you. These kinds of these are very powerful signs that we don't always um, pay attention to. And they're saying this is a clear communication, and this is when the universe is networking with you and letting you know that they're working on your behalf. That so don't ignore that sign. Don't um, waste your energy contemplating whether or not this is the right decision to make. Because when it comes to you like that, when you just feel so drawn to it, like you've known this, like you've been there before, this is the purpose of that sign. So to let you know that this is um, a spiritual connection for you, and that all you have to do is trust and have faith, and follow your heart and trust, and any guidance that you get to proceed with, on taking action on that. And everything is already just waiting to bless you. So all you have to do is participate, fulfill your role, and which is to trust, and to trust the actions that you are guided to take. Okay. They're giving me, they're showing me the words light and fast. And seeing the angel number 203. So there's maybe these words like lightning fast or something like something happens very quickly. But let's see what the angel number 203 says. And when am I going to need my glasses? But we'll see. Okay. It says, all of your prayers are heard and answered. The more you believe this, the better and faster the outcome. Trust. See there? So that's what they meant. If you follow this message, the guidance of this message, then the things that you want will come to you very quickly. Okay? And so the more you believe this, the better and faster the outcome. Trust. So this is a week where they really want you to exercise in your faith and trust, and believe in what you receive, the strong feelings. I call these soulful connections. The angels call them soulful connections. You don't feel this way, and there's not a reason for that. Okay, you're right that there's a strong reason that you feel so connected to something. But and when you feel that in your heart, it's so powerful. This is letting you know that this is beyond you, in the sense of that nothing that you could really do could get in the way. And all you have to do is allow your soul to continue to do the work of manifestation here. So it lets you know, they're writing the word prosperity, that this path, or this choice is going to bring prosperity for you. Okay? So it's just giving you a sense of alignment and connection. All right, let's just see if there is any additional information coming up. They're showing me sort of the big screen, which is my symbol for the big picture, and someone just standing with their arms open wide. And and there's a tree in the background that just really, lots of leaves, just really fully, lots of foliage, very abundant in its sense. So there's a sense that you are starting to experience a shift where you just feel like now you're just open to so much. Like you're starting to feel safe, and you're starting to trust, and you're starting to um, you're having less doubts, and you're feeling sort of connected with everything. You know, you're feeling like you're one, and that your requests are um, that your heart, the things that your heart requests are being um, brought to you immediately, because you feel like you're connected with it. It's that sense again. They're writing out the word soulful. So you just feel, you're starting to feel more a part of everything, the fabric of your desires. You don't feel so separated. So that there's this sense of um, wondering, you know, and not trusting. So this is a good thing that this starts to shift for you. And they're showing me that someone who's just bent over, and it's like, it looks like people standing on their back. Um, and what it feels like is that you're starting to get from under something where you were almost supporting others, and now you are feeling supported by the universe. So you're feeling like some of the things that you were having to carry, um, that you have support to do that, um, and it's something that you feel open to doing and receiving for yourself. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the card for the Archangel Oracle. Let's see what the message is for this week. The theme. Okay. And this is Archangel Raziel. And the message is take back your power. Okay. So that just kind of explains. I mean, look at the Archangel. He's standing with his arms extended wide open. It says, use your God given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. So you're where you were feeling like a victim in your situations and your circumstances. For the first time, you're starting to feel really connected to your power again. You feel like things, like you're in the flow, that you're having this sense of alignment with everything, and you're starting to feel as though things have reversed. So we kind of are coming out of the. I think we're going into the out of the shadows of, or into the shadows of coming out of the Mercury retrograde. So you probably feel that some things have started to even lift towards the end of the previous week of the retrograde. Energy starting to reboot, so to speak. So you know, and with that comes this sense of um, seeing things as an opportunity rather than challenges, you know. And the thing about the retrograde is that it helps us. There were things that we don't normally see when it's going direct. There are things that we're communicating that we're not aware of, that we're putting out there, meaning communicating, meaning our vibrational offering that we're putting out there. There are things that we don't see. And so during the retrograde, those things that really clash with our truth are just highlighted so that you can heal them. So it's like that period of retrograde, Mercury retrograde, allows you to purge. It makes it possible for you to witness the unknowns, the ways that we contradict ourselves, and so that we start addressing those vibrational offerings that don't really bring us the happiness and the joy that we're seeking. So now that that energy is starting to lift, you feel very powerful. You feel very renewed because you've had this period, although difficult and challenging as it may have been, but you feel refreshed because you're the better for it, because you have witnessed the things that you couldn't see that you were offering. And now you are almost sort of, your passion is renewed in the sense that you really want to be as clear and as honest and as authentic to your spiritual well-beingness as possible. And so, you don't want to allow anything to get in. So this is the time to use this new energy. I know we're just probably um, around a new moon this previous weekend, and so this is a good thing to this makes sense, that we just feel like we're ready to hit the ground running, and so use this, because, and of course another retrograde will come, and when it does, it'll show us more of what we are not seeing. So the thing to do is to um, try to stay as clear as possible, to always be open to seeing yourself, um, seeing your truth, and when something draws your attention to something that's not in alignment for you, don't take it personally. Change your approach to this, because anything, when you're having these moments when something's challenging you, it's not doing it just because life doesn't want to be fair to you, or just wants to give you a hard time, or somebody wants to just bring you down. What those challenges show you, the opportunity of what it is that you are offering that you can change, that will help you to be on a clear, honest path. Sometimes we make sacrifices where we don't honor our heart's wishes, and because we're wanting material comforts, that we're willing to sacrifice something that is so important in terms of our life purpose, because we say, well, I can see this, but I can't see that, and so I'm going to do this for now to keep myself safe. And everyone does it, and no one is judging any of us when we do that. But the thing is, now that we're in a position to be more clear and more honest, and to really support our truth, and support your ability to choose for yourself is your power. And so, as we've been saying in the recent weeks, don't be afraid of your choices. Don't ever be afraid of that power. You will always have an option or the opportunity to choose. So don't make choices out of fear, because they're not sustainable in the kind of joy and happiness that you're seeking, and the true success and abundance that you're seeking. Trust your heart. Trust the voice of inspiration. You've heard me say it many times that I really believe that the voice of God is inspiration, and that the angels and the ascended masters and the whole company of heaven, when they speak to you, they contact you in this way. They inspire your heart, and if you feel like you've lost that connection, then do things that inspire you. That's why it's so important. Like, we have art and music and the arts in general, and they work with this frequency of inspiration. You can bring that into any um, any career and or work environment. You really can tap into that inspiration, and give yourself more practice in accessing that, so that you will now become abundantly aware of when your voice is speaking, your when the angels and when your soul is speaking to you versus your ego, because your ego will never inspire you. It doesn't do that. It cautions you. Um, it, 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 it asks you to think about keeping yourself safe, and oh, don't try that, because what if you fail, and you don't want to people to laugh at you. You don't want people to think poorly of you. You don't want people to think you're crazy, so you don't pursue something that's really important to you. So there's a difference here. And one of the things is that we entertain the voice of the ego quite a bit because we're so concerned with external um, feedback, and especially with the with social media. Um, excuse me one moment. It makes it very difficult. Just started having like a big allergy um, with my sinuses and throat, which also makes sense since the um, Mercury retrograde is sort of teetering out here. So just give me one moment. Pause. Yes. All right. So I'm back. So, all right. Let's take a look at the reading for the week and let's see what's going on during the week. And just keeping in mind to really pay attention to the. So I kept seeing the word sign as this receiving signs this week, and so I really feel like that you're going to have these really inspired experiences that is going to be the signs that you're looking for. So pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come into your mind, um, or these really soulful connections where you feel like this is it for you, like you this is the totally the right um, decision or opportunity for you. Trust that, okay? Trust that. Now let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. And we have the Dreamer card, which is the Fool in the traditional tarot. It says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So as I was reading that unexpected opportunities, they were just reminding me of the receiving something in the mail or hearing back, whether it's getting some positive feedback or hearing back from something. Maybe you thought that it wasn't going to work out. It seemed like the interview process or whatever it was, it didn't. Or if you did, like, to say if it was you're going to purchase something and you felt like the people weren't really excited about you or giving it to you, and I feel like all of a sudden that you get a dream fulfilled, that you hear unexpectedly, that you are being considered or that they are going to go with you in some way. So just be aware of that as the week comes through, that some things that you may have forgotten about, that you just took a chance and you didn't put too much into it. You didn't really expect anything, and that you actually do hear back. And what I'm getting, and as I say this, is this feeling that from the angels that you may not feel. You may be shocked to the point that then all of a sudden you start to get stuck in your head and you start worrying, and because now you weren't prepared for it. You just thought, oh, this would be nice if it happened, but I don't have to worry about this. And so you didn't make plans, you didn't prep yourself for it. If you got it, would you really consider doing XYZ, whether it's like you have to move or you have to give notice, or there were things that you hadn't really considered because you kind of downplayed it. So it's like, be careful what you wish for, right? All right, let's take a look at the next card, which is very interesting that the ego card comes up here because it shows the dreamer at in the same scene where you see the contraction. And it's kind of like what I was saying, because these two cards came together. They were on the top, and this one had moved when I pulled this one. So they are connected. And you see, it's kind of like what I was explaining. You get what you want, and then all of a sudden you become afraid. And the thing is that card is about having, as it says, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So I feel like all of a sudden, there are some things that you're going to have to uh, surrender, in order for this dream, and you weren't prepared for that because you really somehow weren't taking it seriously enough. And now we're here, you have this expansion of the gateway where you walk through it. Now you see that it's contracted, and you can see here that he's got shackles and chains on his hands and his feet, and he's afraid to let go of. He dipped his hands in the pot, had where all the abundance and blessings, and it's almost like the abundance here is sort of laying at the threshold. It's symbolic of if you cross that threshold, that this abundance of support is there, placed there symbolically to mean that there are plenty of more opportunities along the way, but he wants to carry it with him an assurance, and you're looking for assurances, and as you dip into that symbolism, you're being literal, and now it becomes something that weighs you down. It prevents you from being able um, to embrace, this opportunity that has risk. You just don't know what's beyond this point, but you have to trust, and you feel the abundance. Therefore, as you stand at that threshold, you feel abundant, and you have to trust that that's what you're walking into. And if you're not afraid of your choices, meaning if you're not offering fear as a part of your choice, then you won't have to worry about the challenges or the things that may come up, because you know there's going to be good options. And we're not saying that you're not going to run into things where you have to take some time to think, but the thing is that you will have options. You will have the full spectrum to choose from. But when you're afraid, you limit the other half of the spectrum, and you're left with just the negative to actually perceive. So you have to let go of your fear, and don't start. This is what doubt is. Doubt is the beginning of your ego tearing apart all of that inspiration, limiting your power by calling into question your passions. When you start to see, oh well, who am I to think I could do this? I don't have enough of this qualifications. I can't leave my responsibilities and obligations behind, and so that I keep thinking about people standing on the back, that vision earlier, and it feels like you are hesitating because you carry the weight of others on your back, and you're making it you're using that as an excuse in order to hold you back from crossing this threshold. So, okay, yeah, this is what you've been praying for, and you maybe didn't think it was going to really happen, and somehow it has. So now you are faced with a decision, and you can either choose fear or you can choose love and inspiration, and go and honor, respect your heart. I did just saw the word respect your heart. As you practice respecting your heart, you gain in the momentum of achieving success. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. All right, we have the Page of Air. This card came up in the daily card messages last week. It even was sort of like a stalker card that it came up when I pulled 4 cards for those daily card messages. And they were either in the bottom, not in the main position as the main card, but it was in the other 4 positions, sort of the background positions. And so this card has come up a lot, and again, just coming out of the Mercury retrograde and being in the post shadows of it. And this week, this card is about air communication, right? And this represents the page represents something that's just budding or immature, um, not fully, um, not a lot of experience, but has a lot of heart, very brave, willing to meet challenges. And so the thing is, I get the sense that you have to be brave. You have to um, not get so caught up in the size of your sword, so to speak. Um, and in terms of comparing yourself to maybe, oh, other people have more of what you think you need in order to do this. And the thing is that here you see her holding that heart, and it's a golden heart. And the thing about it is her paws are could potentially pierce the heart, cause it to bleed. But she's careful, and so maybe you have a similar situation where you're feeling just a little bit awkward, and this situation cause you to feel a little bit awkward, and you are not quite sure if you're the right person to fulfill this goal, this mission, your dream. But you have everything that you need to start, and you need to trust those basic, your raw instincts, your sense of proportion. You have love. You have your heart's in the right place. Okay, you may not always say or communicate in the way that people would like it to come across, but your heart's in the right place. This could be you or somebody else who doesn't always get it quite right in terms of how they express themselves, but their heart's in the right place. They're a little rough around the edges, but their heart's in the right place. And I get a sense that this is sort of symbolic. Like, you may be a little rough around the edges at this point. Maybe you don't have all the facts or the details, but you have heart, and that is what's going to carry you through. It's going to help you to cross that threshold, help you to embrace those beautiful opportunities ahead. So, as the card says, honest here. Just be honest. Be honest in how you communicate, and don't try to be something that you're not. Don't start thinking that way, because then you start putting like all of these roadblocks in your own path, in your own way. You don't want to do that. Okay, this is what being in our ego does. It just kills those dreams, and you start to feel less inspired. But you can do that. You can talk yourself into a place where it just doesn't seem to make sense. But the thing about it is, then you end up feeling regretful, and you feel trapped in your circumstances. And this is a sign that the logic that you use was irrational according to your soul. Okay, don't be afraid of your passions. They're writing the word passionate. You're passionate, and this is an opportunity to write an expansive expansion, and I'm saying expensive too. So this is a time of expansion for you. Don't worry about some of the expensive costs, like risks that you're worried about. I get a feeling that this is worth it. It and the reason it's worth it, you got to go back to how you feel, because they're writing out the word energy. Like, for the first time, you feel energized. Okay, is the word I'm seeing, and I'm seeing the word eventful. You feel eventful, and it's almost like some major fear has passed, is what I'm seeing them write out as well. I'm seeing the word deceit. So not that someone has been deceitful, but you have, in a way, your pain is what I'm seeing. The word pain. Your pain is deceitful, because you keep telling the story, you keep living it, you put it you put it in front of everything that you want to accomplish, and then it becomes the excuse for why you don't do it. And then the cycle repeats because you feel really bad and you feel regretful, and you feel less hopeful. This is how you squash your faith. And what they're asking you to do is to trust that if something shows up for you, that it's real and that you attracted it to you because you deserve it. Nothing comes to you that you didn't create, manifest. And that's not to say that the bad things, it's like you deserve them either. It's just that we focus in such a way, and we should be that we cause ourselves to attract certain circumstances. But the good news is that you're always getting what you wanted. So you can, if you shift your focus, you can get the things that make you happy instead. You're powerfully, what is it I'm trying to say here? You're a powerful creator no matter what's going on. Just because when things aren't going as well, you're still creating. So your power is never diminished. You just either create what you want or you create what you don't want. But either way, you're creating. And so the idea is to focus so that you create what you want. To focus, meaning, and if something doesn't make you feel good, don't keep telling that story. If you have this person, your boss, that just, the more you talk about it, the less chance you have of finding reconciliation, and moving on and working together, because you're putting up those blocks in front of you where you see their mistakes, you see the things that irritate you about them, and you can't perceive the things that where you might connect and do meaningful things together. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. And we have the Queen of Fire. So this is, I'm hearing nurture. Nurture your passions this week. Okay? You don't have to have all the answers, but just nurture your passions. Really focus on cultivating conditions in your life that allows you to appreciate the things that you're passionate about. Really immerse yourself. Do things that stimulate you, that kindle your fire, that sort of restores you, so it rejuvenates you in some way, that refreshes you. So if you love art, go to a museum, or go to a gallery, or if you love books or writing or whatever, do what you're passionate about. If you've not been creative lately, and you feel like that you're stagnant somehow, start doing something creative. Even in your job, sometimes we just get stuck in those routines where we stop thinking creatively, we stop looking at the creative solution, and it's so exciting when you look at your circumstances through the inspiration of creativity, and you start thinking of creative approaches to solving problems in your job or your role that you serve in. So start doing that and see how excited you get about getting up in the morning to go to work. Just applying that approach to your job, bringing that creative resource, your creative resources back into your workplace, or whatever, in your relationships. Because sometimes we become complacent and we just start, that's three-dimensional. We just start getting into those patterns, and we just allow ourselves to start not being actively involved, and we just do the routines, and we start making assumptions And when we're unhappy, we don't do anything. We don't open up and express ourselves to make it better. You have power, choice, and you can be creative about how you approach your choices, and that is inspirational. Okay? All right, so let's just see. The card says, stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So this queen is very she's very determined, very action oriented. She inspires others. She nurtures in others creativity. This may be something their own creativity. This may be something that you do for yourself and that you do for others by being inspired by being creative and inspiring. You inspire others. You fuel their creativity, and that's a whole nother dynamic in terms of the relationship that you have with them as colleagues or whatever the circumstances. Coming from this approach, it's just contagious, and you'll see how things shift for you. Okay, and you have this ability to, no matter what choices you make, you make them enjoyable by the way you apply yourself. You can apply yourself by thinking negatively and doubting, or you can apply yourself by actualizing your power using creative solutions and ideas, and being inspired and inspiring to others, being inspired by others and being inspiring to them. This is the exchange that you want, that can help shift your whole world and help you to feel powerful, and just really to really love being in your shoes, wanting to looking forward to your day and everything that's coming up and everything that you get to do and how you get to create. Be more proactive in how you participate in your day. Don't participate in your day as though you're being dragged around. Participate in your day as though you are the author of what happens, because you get to choose despite what other people's choices are. They get theirs and you get yours. And no matter what somebody throws at you, you can think creatively about how you want to approach whatever they hand to you. It's up to you. Okay? So I send you lots of love and angel blessings. And thank you all for joining us here this week. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. And thank you for your likes. And if you haven't liked the channel, then also do that. If you haven't joined us for the daily card messages, please feel free to go to my Facebook page, and you can find the link below. You can also get the posts for the daily card messages through Twitter, as well as my website. If you haven't been to my website and you're looking for an angel reading, that's in the description link below. It's theangelschool.com on the services page. I've received some interest in people who are maybe interested in some classes, or if you are, leaving some comments below about which kind of classes you would like. And if you're just looking to do some intuitive development work, I have the angel coachings, divine roadmap on my website. I have 10 sessions where we can develop your intuitive skills. Okay, so have a beautiful week, everyone, and God bless you all. See you next week.